Probably know that college students who experience discrimination can have negative consequences. But did you know that they're especially likely to have negative consequences from drinking? Students who report feeling disrespected, feared, or treated differently because of their identity are more likely to drink and black out, get assaulted, or miss class. This research aimed to explain the relationship between discrimination and negative alcohol-related consequences among college students. Theory tells us that discrimination is a stressor, and drinking is a coping method. Students who experience discrimination are more likely to drink to reduce negative emotions, which can lead to worse alcohol-related consequences. But how? Protective behavioral strategies are the things that college students can do to protect themselves from the negative consequences of drinking. These are strategies like planning ahead, using a designated driver, or having food and water while drinking. And these tools have proven to help keep college students safe. So this study examined whether protective behavioral strategies help explain the relationships between discrimination, drinking to cope with negative emotions, and alcohol-related consequences. And we predicted that students experiencing discrimination would be more likely to drink to cope, less likely to use protective behavioral strategies, and experience worse alcohol-related consequences. We controlled for the number of drinks that students consumed, and our results found that drinking to cope and protective behavioral strategies sequentially mediated the relationship between discrimination and consequences. That means that students experiencing discrimination reported drinking to cope more often, using protective behavioral strategies less often, and experiencing more alcohol-related consequences. This supports the theory that discrimination increases risk for alcohol-related consequences because students experiencing discrimination are more likely to drink in less protective ways because they want to cope with the distress created by discrimination. It's important to note that these findings support previous research demonstrating the harmful effects of discrimination among college students. We suggest that campus leaders support interventions to decrease discrimination. For example, seminars on how discrimination and prejudice pervade educational settings may help foster a more inclusive and healthy campus community. In addition, strengthening students' cultural identities and self-esteem can contribute to a greater sense of belonging within and across cultural groups. And finally, interventions to improve students' use of positive coping skills and protective behavioral strategies could reduce alcohol-related consequences among college students. Thank you.